live. Here we are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fair Play Racing League. I'll skip straight to the live stream. Yes, we're a little bit late tonight. It's completely my fault. Streamlabs made me update my graphics driver. But I am your host, as always, on a Thursday night, David Lolface. This week, joined by special guest commentator.
Hello everybody, Cruiser, the most consistent 12th place finisher in Tier 2 races, and I am joining David Lawface for this Tier 1 session around Austria.
Well, thank you very much for joining me, Cruiser, and well, you're all joining us midway through Q1. There's plenty to catch up on, as you can see. There's a couple of familiar faces around the top. We've got Ray Lyax currently in the lead. Newcomer for tonight, Kieran, setting a 103.7. That's pretty handy lap for his first time out. But those of you who do have an astute sense of, what's the word? Vision. There you go. Those of you with eyes can see that down in 20th place we've got Ali Ferrari, who is out. Yeah, so he was disqualified from the session. You might have seen more than I did, Cruiser.
Yes, Ali dropping it around turn 4 and got disqualified for some reason driving the wrong way around the track, as I go on board here with Lizard King, and Object Fungus has retired from the session after dropping it out of turn 10, which is a bit of a blow for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, it's looks like a few drivers have dropped it so far then, and looks like we've lost Object Fungus and Klutschak. Yeah, it's quite unusual. Well, okay, probably not unusual. Mistakes can happen around here. There are a few corners which, of course, are quite easy to lose it at, but maybe you wouldn't expect it from the Tier 1 guys. Also, just want to note Lewis Yorkie. Yorkie is in P19. I believe he was serving a quali ban. So,
Not
yeah,
too sure about the quali ban,
oh,
but I
who
will
was
have a
that?
quick check.
Who was that by the side of the road? Was that
That's-
Smeggy? It was Smeggy. Yeah,
Oh,
Smeggy
yep.
binning it into Sector 3. So the man still chasing down Ali Ferrari in the lead is AMS Drive as he loses it. Turn 1. He is trying desperately to make those mediums work for him in Q1, but, well,
I
as you
think
saw
he might
there.
have to throw the towel in.
Yeah. Yorkie's taken offence to the fact that we said he might have a quali ban. Well, why did you retire then, Yorkie? It was too early for you to bin it.
Oh, awesome car was retired from this session. I think
He probably thinks
think-
he's safe.
I think he might have retired in the pits from Q1, but for the 104.1, you would think he's safe, but
Yeah,
anything can happen.
yeah. I think we're probably looking at the cut-off being maybe around 104.4. It could quite easily be a 104.3.
As Brooke crosses the line but doesn't improve on their time, so they stay in 7th place, just ahead of Super Batesy and Phenom, all separated by around 200ths of a second.
Yeah, it's pretty close up there now. A bit more like we're used to. We've got P1 through to P12 covered by just over half a second. Well, that's a bit liberal. All right, it's more like 3/4 of a second, but right. Well, Yorkie's just apparently he's doing a last to first for giggles.
Well, technically it isn't if you start on 19th.
Well, yeah, technically you're not starting last, so what you've done there, Yorkie, is befraud yourself. You've frauded yourself. You've frauded the rest of us, and most importantly, you've frauded the league. Hang your head, sir. So we've got 3¼ minutes left in the session. There's a few drivers looking to improve as AMS Drive does come out on the soft tyres. I expect him to be shooting up towards the front, having ruined his lap on the mediums. Well, pretty much ruined 4 laps of his on the mediums. So while we've got a little bit of a break, why don't we talk about the exciting announcement that was made earlier on in the week, and this one is of course something a little bit close to you, Cruiser. It's the announcement of the F2 Championship for FPRL.
Yes, we are starting a new Formula 2 Championship this Sunday, if I'm correct, at 8 PM UK time, as Brooke doesn't improve on their time, still sitting 7th place. But yeah, Formula 2 finally making its way to the FPRL series, and you'll have to put up with my voice for a bit longer because I will be the commentator so far for the entire series, which is quite exciting.
Yep, I know I'm excited about it. Yeah, so you've got Cruiser with me tonight. He's very kindly volunteered to commentate as the main comms. I'm sure we can find plenty of different drivers to join you in co-coms. That is definitely a promise. I know we've got a few lined up, but it's going to be exciting for you folks at home. As it always is, of course. But yeah, it's something a little bit different. Of course, it's going to be all 3 tiers within one grid. And so what we had previously in the week was a driver draw of sorts. We had essentially we had the tier 3 drivers picking their teammates from a list of drivers who opted in. So yeah, generally speaking, we'll see the fast drivers in tier 1 teaming up with fellow FPRL guys from tier 3, and it's gonna. Well, I'm excited about it, definitely, and I'm also excited to hear you on comms, Cruiser.
Thank you very much, David.
A big hello in the chat to Lemming and Silver.
And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2 as the Ferrari of Raylex, sorry if I've got that name wrong, drops it on a cooldown lap as the checkered flag falls for Q1.
Yeah, so unless Zilla's on a slow lap, so he's going to be going out as he comes into the pits. Disappointing for that man, also disappointing for Lexus, who will also miss out. And it will be down to 13 drivers for Q2. So little old me, the fraud. Yeah, the third cut-off was, well, technically 104.2. So yeah, nice and tight.
Looking at the midfield in particular, between Bookieman and Phenom, very, very tight there between all four drivers.
Yeah, just over 200s in it for four drivers. That's pretty special. And Object Fungus, had he not have dropped it, would also be in that pack.
Yeah, he would be.
Oh, that is it for Q1. Let's don't know what we're waiting for. We're waiting for someone to come into the pits. So there we go. Yeah, if you just want to scroll down to the bottom and give it an old screenshot.
Okay.
So, right. Groundsy in the chat making a very astute observation. This game can barely handle 20 drivers, let alone 22 on Sunday. Well, thankfully, the lobby limit is actually 22. So in order to have two commentators, we're not running. I can't remember what team it is we're not running. But one of the teams we're not running. Oh, and the stream cord. I need to get used to stream cord being in the Discord. Okay then, out for Q2. So yesterday in the Tier 3 race, we had a mostly dry affair, but actually it definitely got wet towards the end of Q2, I think it was. And we had an intermediate Q3. No such thing tonight by the looks of things.
We have Kieran and the Alpine of Awesome Car once again, the first two out in the second part of qualifying.
Yeah, Eager
Awesome
Beavers.
Car, both of which are on the soft compound tyres.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Usually we see a few more drivers than this come out on the mediums, but as it is, only 5 have it selected. So there's not too much in terms of difference between the two compounds, at least in my experience. But obviously, to get the most out of your tyres, you're probably going to want to start on the softs. See a little bit of gamesmanship there from Kieran and Awesome Car. The Awesome Car comes straight in. That's interesting. It's possible he wasn't too happy with Kieran's shenanigans. But
as collateral adds has invalidated around the final corner, so he's got another cooldown lap.
Yeah. You're just avoiding Hirsch coming out of the pits. So we'll stick with Kieran. Now coming through what is technically turn 4. Turn 2 being that slight left up the hill towards the heavy braking zone of...
I'm sorry to butt in here, David, but AMS Drive has had a spin on the entrance to the pit lane, which is not a good sign for the Haas driver, once again out on a set of medium compound tyres and goes straight back into the pits.
Yeah, those will be the same medium tyres he failed to get a lap in in Q1, only having the one set of mediums for all the qualifying. So yeah, I don't think AMS Drive's strategy is going particularly well at the moment, and I mean, if he keeps spinning on those tyres, he'll definitely want to avoid them in the race. course, you do have another free set to use. And it should be an easy one stop here. We saw Monkey Boy going fastest of the early time setters. Then we've got so we've got Monkey Boy on a 104.3, and Brookie Min 4.4.
Kieran currently with 2 purple sectors. If he gets this last corner right,
He's
which
invalidated.
Does not. That's a blow for the Red Bull driver, who would have been long ahead in pole position. Well, fastest at least for this session.
Yeah, it's another lap of wear on those tyres. As he just slows down to move, let others out, let others pass. As Ads on medium sets a 104.7.
As Monkey Boy Kurt improves to a 104.0 on a second flying lap.
Yeah, someone needs to tell him that he has to start on those tyres if he comes top 10. Besides that, we've got Tornado setting in a cracking lap on the mediums. Oh, never mind. Nocco goes even faster as he drops it on turn 1 and finds himself in the pit entrance. He needs to be careful to avoid doing what Ali did and get himself disqualified. He turns around fine, yet. As Ray Lyex goes into the 103s on the mediums. I know I said that they weren't that, like, there wasn't too much in terms of difference between the two tyres, but come on, lads, that's just it's just showing us all up.
As AMS Drive is starting his flying lap and has a purple sector 1 on a new set of soft tyres, getting a nice slipstream from his teammate there, Lizard King, before slamming on the brakes into turn 4.
Yeah, what a fraud.
Keeps it within the bounds.
Of course, those two drivers last week battling out at Silverstone this week find themselves in the same garage. Lizard King, of course, is a reserve driver, and Chris D not in the seat this week. But yeah, nice to see a little bit of teamwork between them both after a little bit of banter that we saw between them in the chat. AMS Drive only goes P4. I suspect that might be strategic.
Well, fresh set of softs, but he's going for another flying lap, I think.
He's
backed out. Just over a tenth covering our top 4 drivers as Brookieman abandons his current lap and goes into the pits. Currently sitting in 6th place.
Yeah. He will... I would say he'll need to do better than that, but we know he's got some pace in him, and we have seen other drivers set faster times on the mediums. I probably wouldn't put it past him to put on a set of mediums and go faster at this point. As Collateral adds... Oh, what happened to Lizard King? Lizard King has dropped it.
Oh dear.
We'll see if he's... No, disappears before Super Batesy gets around. This week Super Batesy is the teammate of last week's podium sitter Collateral Ads. As Perk Pixel has joined. Not quite sure why. So Super Batesy goes P5. Collateral adds P9.
First on a lap right now on the mediums, going around the final corner. And where will this put them? 5th fastest. Good lap there from the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, your current Tier 1 champion, or reigning Tier 1 champion in the Red Bull. Good lap for Dead. Oh, right.
Oh, and hello AMS Drive, 103.7 on a new set of softs.
Yep. So I think what that means is he's literally going to have one go in Q3. He's used 2 sets of softs so far. So that's, I can't remember, can't count.
Phenom on a decent lap right now. We're in the final corner on a fresh set of mediums. Needs a good time here, and it's only 9th fastest for the Mercedes.
Yeah, 104.3 probably will not cut it. It looks like that was his second consecutive lap as he's pretty much out of the RS.
Kieran's had a bit of a spin around turn 8, facing the wrong way, just about gets it sorted before everyone else catches up.
Yeah.
But I think it's safe to say he needs quite a lap here on used softs, with 5 minutes left of this Q2 session to go.
Yeah. So coming up to turn 1, can make or break a lap, hits the apex quite nicely, a little bit of oversteer on the exit. He's getting a little bit of a toe off Monkey Boy there in the sister AlphaTauri team. It's the apex nicely, has to slightly open up his steering halfway through, should not have cost him too much. A heavy braking zone down into turn 4. Doesn't use too much of the exit curb. I don't know if that's fast or not. He uses plenty of the outside curb coming into whatever turn that was, and whatever turn this is. His tyres, 4 laps old, are probably screaming at this point. He's got to be very careful around here. Mounts the curb, keeps it clean, turns in very nicely. That looks like it could be a good lap.
Yep. Very good lap.
And of course, the backside of that is he's got to start the race on those. He's done 5 laps in this session.
Not a good sign there for Kieran, but a time that should hopefully get him through into Q3. So I'm not sure they'll be complaining too much.
Yeah. It looks like we've had, we've got a small visual glitch. Brookie has set his time on the mediums. Thanks for pointing that out in chat. Kieran also. Kieran's on mediums. What? I didn't see that.
Is he? I thought he was on softs.
Kieran's on softs. According to the race director.
For me, he's on 5 lap old softs as Awesome Car goes into 6th overall with a 104.087.
Yep, that is on the softs. The game lies. I mean, Kieran
had another spin on his
I'll tell you what, you don't want to sit there for long. He's gonna.
Actually gets out of the way.
Didn't quite have the turning circle. Didn't quite have the turning circle to get around. So Kieran apparently on mediums. The game lies apparently. But he retires in the pits. Thinks he's safe, so I think we're probably going to see Ray Lyax do the same if he's still about. So in the drop zone with less than 2 minutes to go, we've got Collateral Ads and Phenom Collateral Ads is on a hot lap at the moment. He's set a purple sector 1. Comes through the final couple of corners. He's invalidated. Oh, off the exit of the penultimate corner. And he's got this and next lap as well. He will not be happy with that.
Thankfully, still has enough time for one more lap, but it's now or never for the Aston Martin driver, who needs to find 0.2 of a second to get through.
Yeah, and currently Brookie Min on a hot lap as well. I just had a quick look, make sure he didn't invalidate through turn 1, but he doesn't. He comes through turn 3 very nicely there. I'm sure he's looking to improve. Was that one of the... I think that could have been a very slow Aston Martin there. As Nocco retires from the session.
Seems like the top 4 are safe, as they've all retired.
So Brookie Min coming around the final couple of corners now. Very nicely on the apex, gets his foot down nice and early. And
First entering the pits. First in the pits, and currently sitting 8th, so they might be in a bit of trouble here from the chasing pack.
Yep, could indeed. Ooh, right on the edge there was Collateral Ads. So he's just about got a new lap in. So would have Tornado, but he's invalidated. Turn
So
1, it
Tornado,
seems.
Tornado is out of qualifying, but will he be starting 11th or 12th?
Only one man can change this. This, of course, Super Batesy cannot improve. He has invalidated, so it's all on this man here. Will he knock his teammate out? It'd be a bit of an upset if he were to go out in Q2. He is 0.4 up going into Sector 3. What's gone on? Is he out of fuel? He's out of fuel.
He's invalidated regardless. A disaster for the Aston Martin.
He's had a shocker. Absolute shocker.
And Super Batesy, must be said, getting away with one there. Scraping through in 10th place.
Yeah, would have surely been knocked out by his teammate there. He was looking towards probably a 104 flat thereabouts. Would have put him pretty safe. Oh, well, here we are then. Just waiting for Tornado to fully go into the pits. I hate this game when it does this.
And we see here from the top 10, only 2 drivers have medium tyres, if I'm not mistaken, that being Monkey Boy Kurt in 5th place and Noko Egot, sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, in 4th.
Yeah. Race director says different. Oh, it might have fixed itself. So it's saying Ray Lyex starting on the mediums. We're told from Twitch chat that Kieran was indeed on the mediums. I can't see that on my screen. I can't see it in Race Director, but I trust you guys aren't trolling us. I'll tell you what, if he was on the softs, it would be horrendous to start on 5-lap-old softs. So losing out in this session, we have Lizard King, Collateral Ads, and Tornado then. So, of course, no 14th or 15th driver in this Q2. Apparently Hirsch is also on mediums. That makes sense. It does indeed say so in this chat. I mean, it's been said plenty of times, especially in the chat tonight. This game is perfect and has no bugs. So,
10 out of 10.
yeah. So a big shout out. Oh, hello.
Ooh, and here comes the rain.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit later than yesterday. We got it halfway through Q2, but the rain is here. Are we going to see anyone? I don't think we're going to see anyone come out early on the softs. Well, that is interesting. Yep, seeing the drivers come out now.
Everyone jockeying for position there, and it looks like AMS Drive is the leader of this little car park.
Yep. Whether or not someone will want to push their way in front of him, I'm sure he won't fight too much. Can't say no to some free slipstream. Now this is going to be challenging for the drivers because we're assuming that it's going to be dry all the way through. Judging on the fact that there were so many drivers using the mediums in Q2. That probably means that almost all of the drivers, if not definitely all of the drivers, using a dry setup. Now there are a couple of things you can do to offset the weather, but they don't do too much, to be fair. You get maybe a couple of clicks on the front wing. And what else can you do? I think you can change your tyre pressures and you can lower the diff to minimise that wheel spin. But here we are away with AMS Drive. We know he's quick in the dry. Is he quick in the wet? Well, he looked pretty good through turn 1. He set a 17.4 for sector 1, which I don't think is particularly fast. But we'll follow with him anyway. Whoa. Oh, I'm just going to wet my whistle. Ugh. Yeah, real spanner in the works there, this rain into Q3. We're going to assume that it's not going to lighten off.
Not too sure about that, as AMS Drive first over the line for 111.8, as Harsh just about beats that time with a 111.812, and Monkey Boy Kurt, not a good lap to say the least, but he's going again.
Yeah. So you see some drivers go for it straight away. Others tend to build up their speed. You see Ray Lyax has gone top. 3 temps, well 2.5 temps faster than anyone else at the moment. Margins tend to be a little bit larger in the rain. It's dependent on obviously each driver and how adaptable their setup is for these conditions. But yeah, Monkey Boy looks like he's struggling unless he's just on a cooldown.
Noto goes fastest, and I believe Revengezilla would like an invite back to the session.
Oh, let's get Zilla in. I'm just going through a friends list because it's. Oh, I can't invite him to a game. Why can't I invite? Um,
Let me check if I can invite him. If I'm able to. I'm not able to.
I think I know why. Yeah, I think we had someone join earlier and they have not left. But that's fine, we can deal with that. We can deal with that if that's the case. Interestingly, the lobby should have been on invite only. So I'm not quite sure how that person managed to join. Never mind, we have AMS Drive going a lot faster then. He sets a 111.3 and, well, yeah, gets rid of half a second off his time. Monkey Boy is building the speedies now on a 112 dead. This track might be evolving. Radar X goes faster, 111.2.
Even in the pits for Red Bull, and the only driver so far not to set a lap time.
Yeah, not quite sure what's happened there. According to Lemming, Lemming seems to think the conditions will get worse. So it could be a bad decision for Kieran if that's the case. Ray Lyrics getting a little bit out of shape, and he could indeed. Yep, he's got no front wing. So into the pits he will come. Yeah, don't know what it is about drivers setting fastest laps, then going around and around.
You see the Mercedes here of Noco Egot on a flying lap here, but just going around turn 4, currently sitting in 3rd overall.
Yeah, he's on a so he's in a warm-up lap or a cool-down lap maybe. I suspect a cool-down lap as he's got the red flashing fuel light. And in he comes to the pits.
Kieran currently on an out lap.
Just gonna follow Awesome Kai. Looks to be really struggling on the downforce. He hasn't got damage, but yeah, he looked like he was really laboured through the middle sector there. Oh, and he's invalidated at the last corner. He wouldn't have gone faster anyway, but this lap as well is invalidated. So we'll jump on with Hirsch, who hopefully, nope, has not invalidated the following lap.
Kieran currently with the fastest sector 1 of everyone.
We'll follow him around. It looks like he's struggling with the turn in as well. Especially round that turn 4. He's not too bad through here, although getting a wheel on the curb there. It looks like he could have lost control there for a moment. He's going to come around the last couple of corners now. Keeps it within the track limits. And he'll come to the line, and that's a 110.9. The first of our drivers in the 110s. It's a great lap from him. AMS Drive now also on a lap.
Currently a 10th.5 up in a purple sector 2 so far, so this could be close.
Yeah, we'll follow him through the last couple of corners as well, just caressing the inside curb of the penultimate corner, as he can't quite go faster. Well, he can go faster, but not as fast as this man in the lead, Kieran, on his FPRL debut, must be added. I think we've got quite a few drivers out now. So Kieran's had a cool down. He's now going for another hot lap. Ray Lyak's 2/10 up coming into the last sector. Comes across the line, stays P3 but goes 10.5 quicker. So next is Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy comes through the last corner. It's P7 at the moment. Next is Bricky Min, who's not setting the world alight with that time. AMS Drive is 4/100ths up. Oh, he goes marginally quicker, but it's still not into that 110.
One final lap for the Haas driver as Kieran's had a spin at turn 3.
Yeah.
Thankfully rejoins just before the Haas can get there.
Oh,
And he's spun again.
Yeah, needs to be very careful
Minus
about
the
how
front
he
wing.
rejoins. Yep, his tyres will be on fire. Oh, I'll tell you what. No, yep, that is it. That is him out. So interestingly, the man who looks like he might... Oh, no.
As Ray Lyatt steals the fastest lap so far and pole, unless the AMS Drive can do something about it.
Oh, he's dropped it coming through the last sector. He needs to get out of the way. Oh, AMS Drive drops it coming into sector 3. I wasn't sure whether he was quicker or not, but here comes Nocco, currently P4. He needs to improve by 3/10 to get to P3. He does not, but
improves, but just not enough. So 4th place for the Mercedes driver.
yeah, and looks like that's all she wrote for quali, as Awesome Car has invalidated.
So Ray Lyatt is on pole.
Yep. Oh, I don't know where that came from. I also didn't do a poll tonight in the chat, so oh well. It's not my loss. Oh well, yep, Lemming is eating his words in the chat. He's they should all go out now conditions get worse, I believe. Yep. Well, in the mud, Lemming. Lemming in the mud for incorrectly saying that conditions are getting worse. So that is your top 10 for this evening. Phenom P10, Super Batesy P9, Awesome Car, Monkey Boy, Hirsch, Brookie, Nocco, Drive, Kieran, and pole sitter for tonight is Ray Lyatt. As yeah, Louise says, not the last Ferrari we'll see in P1 this weekend. I just want to quickly point out nice and dry by the looks of things. So I don't think we expected anything different. But yeah, of course, Australian Grand Prix this weekend. I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that in a minute. As I'm just gonna. Oh my god, create a dashboard. No, never mind. Twitch. We're going to a ad break. When I can sort myself out. I'm not having a very good time tonight. Yeah, the Frauds graphics drivers were out of date, so Streamlabs wouldn't work. So never mind, we're here now. Albeit we were just a handful of minutes left. I'm gonna run the ad for you, ladies and gents. Now, just helps out the league a bit, and in the meantime, we can have a quick chat about the Aussie GP this weekend. And the ads are running. Cool. Well, yeah, so Aussie GP this weekend. Nice to see it back on the calendar.
Yeah, a welcome back to Australia. I believe 3 years it's been since we last raced around Melbourne Park.
Yeah, it's not it's not one of my favourites, but I do like this. It's not my favourite to drive, but I do like the circuit. I'm sure there's.
And they've made.
Yeah, so.
And they've.
We're talking over each other now. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 years since we last been there. It's well, it's going to be exciting. You expect to see the Ferraris up there once again. There's news of getting more power out of their engine. That'll be an interesting one because I don't believe it until I see him on track personally. But as the countdown starts,
We will soon find out if Ferrari are backing up what they say, and we will soon find out who takes victory here in the Spielberg.
Yep, indeed do. As the drivers go out on their formation lap, a very short one round here, so I don't quite have enough time to get a refill. Do you want to go through the grid?
Starting at the back of the grid, we've got Ali Fawawi, who got disqualified from qualifying for apparently driving the wrong way. So he's starting from last. Lewis Yorkie sitting 19th, with Klujack 18th, Zilla, my Ferrari teammate, in 17th. Then we have the two McLarens of Lexus and Object Fungus, as Smegsy and Lizard King get disqualified from the formation lap for some reason. Interesting. Collateral Ads in 12th for Aston Martin, and Tornado in 11th for the Alfa Romeo team. Phenom in 10th, starting on soft Super Batesy in 9th, almost hitting Supercar there, or Awesome Car, excuse me. Going around turn 7, he starts 9th on the mediums. Awesome Car in 8th, Monkey Boy Kurt in 7th, Hirsch starting in 6th, for some reason a little bit further behind in the formation lap. Rookie Min starts P5, Noko in 4th, ASM Drive in P3, Kieran on his debut, if I'm correct, starts P2, And our pole man is Ray Lyax for Ferrari as the top three take their place on the grid. And the rest of the patch start filing their way around the final corner and taking their place on the grid.
Wow, expertly timed, I have to say. I wasn't so good with my going up and down the grid while I wasn't looking at the screen. But we are ready to go as we get 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away they go. Looks like it's a good start from Ray Lyax. Currently P2. Kieran's up the inside. Not quite.
There's contact further behind, and we've got a spinner. We've got a spinner in the form of Super Batesy in the Aston Martin, and there's a massive, massive car park around turn 1. I believe Awesome Car's been caught up in the action as well, as we see AMS Drive got the inside of Lyax and take the lead of the race.
Where's he come from? Oh, there's been carnage at turn 3.
And we've got a virtual safety car deployed.
I think what happened there was something to do with AMS Drive's teammate for the evening.
There's a king caught in the action. Awesome Cars had a terrible start to the race.
Yeah, VSC stays a VSC, it looks like. Awesome Car looks like he might not have any front wing damage. I tell you, he's a lucky boy if he doesn't. Don't
Down
think
12 places from the start, as we have, I believe, Revengezilla, who is without a front wing as well, and Phenom without a front wing as well for the Mercedes team. So a bad start for those two.
Yeah, they're both into the pits as we see 5 drivers in all come into the pits. And I'll tell you what, that's how you do lap 1 if your name is Ali Ferrari. Take nothing away from Klutschak ahead of him. So drivers going up 8 and 7 places respectively, as Klutschak under pressure from Ali Ferrari at the moment. He's going to the outside for turn 4. Don't get Albon, or he makes it stick. Great move from Ali Ferrari. It says he's on the softs. I'm inclined to believe that, I think.
And I believe we are correct. Yes, Ali Ferrari is on the soft compound tyre, but we've got a bit of a gap now between him and the next car ahead, being Smegsy.
Yeah, the gap currently 3.6 seconds, I'm sure. With the clean air in front of him, he does have the fastest lap of the race. DRS is enabled. Will that be enough to keep Smeggy in front of Ali Ferrari? As Ali Ferrari does not have the DRS of the car in front. Oh, there's been an accident between Klutschak and Lexus at turn 3. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like Lexus might have gone into the side of Klutschak. I'm sure I saw carbon fibre somewhere, but both cars look to have a full complement of front wings, so what do I know? Thank you for the 1000-bit cheer, Lemming. Much appreciated. Also want to thank JWP King99 for the follow. Quarter of an hour ago. I do apologise for not spotting that sooner. Ali Ferrari is a man on a mission. The gap
Lateral ads has dropped down to 13th. I saw him in the minimap. He was slow around the final corner for some reason, as Kieran gets ahead of Ray Lyax, who are battling wheel to wheel, and they're both almost going 3 wide around turn 4. Kieran making the move on both Ray Lyax and AMS Drive to take the lead of the race.
That's great stuff from the new driver. we've got Nocco now joining, as is Brookie Min. So right old scrap at the front. So we love to see in our premier tier in FPRL. Was that a little bit of side by side I spotted?
And Ali Ferrari with the first time penalty of the race. Not a good start there for the Alpine, despite making up 10 places from the start.
Yeah, that's quite unlike him to get something.
Oh, the
AMS drivers
drives
out
of the race.
Oh, I think I'm not quite sure, but I think Brookie's made contact with AMS Drive's dead car.
As Kieran is battling Ray Lyax, and Lyax goes around the outside of the Red Bull, very reminiscent of Leclerc and Verstappen. It's now the Ferrari leading the Red Bull, as it's a disaster for AMS Drive in the Haas.
Yeah, get used to this view, a Red Bull fighting a Ferrari for the lead of the race. So a real disaster for AMS Drive. I'm not quite sure what's happened, but I do know that at least one other driver has got damage from that. Is that Nocco getting a little bit feisty? It looks like he had a sneaky look, as he's got the straight line speed, but so do both of them, as Kieran makes contact with Ray Lyax. Ray Lyax has got the better drive off the corner, but Kieran's going to have DRS, and there's not much that can be done against that, as Kieran gets a little bit out of pace. Super Batesy has retired in the pits.
As Collateral Ads makes a move on Lewis Yorkie and Awesome Car, just going around turn 4 there, as Awesome Car's now fighting back with the Aston Martin. They bang wheels going around turn number 5, and Ads is just about ahead of the Alpine.
No, round the outside. What a move!
Goes around the outside. Brilliant move there from the Alpine. Currently fighting over 9th place, as Brookieman, throughout all the chatter, entered the pits and is on the hard compound tyres, so they're looking to go very long in this race.
He's a brave boy. A very brave boy. Looking further up, we've got Hirsch and Smeggy fighting. I think that was Hirsch getting a plain old DRS move done. As what's happened? There were some cars he got.
Nocco has had a spin around turn 3, I think.
Oh dear.
And it's fallen right back into the clutches of Lewis Yorkie, and is getting overtaken by the Williams.
Down
and Super Batesy as well. I think he might have had an accident somewhere, as he's DNF from this race.
Yep, we saw the end of Ali Ferrari overtaking Object Fungus. Super Batesy, I believe, retired in the pits. And yeah, don't think he DNF'd. Be interesting to find out what happened to AMS Drive. Interestingly, it looks like Object Fungus is underfueled. I just happened to spot that. It looks like it's calmed down a little bit between the front two. The gap around.
You say that as Ray
4
Lyax is looking to go down the inside. I get a feeling this is going to be quite a recurring theme for this race. However, Kieran gets a drive out of turn 4
on the cutback
and retakes the place.
Oh, that's some brave driving there from these two. Yeah, great undercut there from Kieran. He's got himself into the lead. So Ray Lyax will settle behind once again.
As Ali Ferrari comes into the pits.
That is an early stop. tell you what, as Ads picks up a time penalty. Ali Ferrari, he's got to be going on to the medium, surely. It's an aggressive strategy. He's onto the hards, and he has a front wing change.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's awesome. Car picks up a time penalty too.
That's really going to cost him, as it will do Brookie. These hard tyres are horrendous.
Hirsch now looking for a move on Smegsy, currently fighting for the third place. And the Red Bull gets the move done. Will they be able to hold it around turn 5? Yes, they will. The move is completed. Hirsch up into third place on the medium tyres. Now, can they chase down Ray Lyax and Kieran and possibly get into this lead battle?
And while we're talking about it, at the front is still the gap 4 tenths between these front two. Smeggy still very close behind Hirsch. Nothing into turn 1. And we'll stay with Ray Lyax as he comes up the hill. Gets the move done into this corner. And blocks off the undercut from Kieran. Will he have enough to come back at him? It doesn't look like it. He will stay behind for the moment though, as Kieran gets a 3-second time penalty, what looked like on the outside curb coming into turn 4. It's
We've had
not
contact here between, sorry to cut in there David, we've had contact between Hirsch and Object Funkus and Monkey Boy Kurt are all fighting over 4th place. The Red Bull very slow around turn 4. And it might have caught out Monkey Boy more than it did Object Fungus, who's gained a place throughout all this.
Yeah, these 3 drivers very close. None of them diving into the pits, so quite potentially no damage done. We'll look further down as Yorkie's in the gravel. Oh, coming towards the end of Sector 2. It's not where you want to be. And he's got a 10-second penalty for good measure. I'll tell you what, this game needs to cut out on these stupid bloody 10-second penalties of going off track. It's clearly not your fault. However, towards the front, Kieran getting the move done past Ray Lyax. Yorkie, for good measure, picks up a additional 5 seconds penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
As if it wasn't compounded any worse than it needed to be for the Williams driver.
Yep. He didn't have any front wing, so obviously a lack of braking probably caught him out. I'm not going to lie, the same thing happened to me last night. So I won't begrudge him that. Meanwhile, Phenom getting past Revenge Zilla, it seems. Got a few drivers with red bars, and that might be, well, it's hopefully not a sign of desync issues as Monkey Boy comes into the pits, gets himself a 5-second penalty, but he is the first onto the mediums that should take him to the end of the race. I believe he's extending that medium stint by around 4 laps.
I believe Monkey Boy Kurt had front wing damage as well. He was very slow going around turn 9 before entering the pits.
Interesting. He could very well have seen it on my screen, but I wasn't paying attention. Luke's getting passed by Tornado then. And Tornado making up some ground. Phenom getting past Lizard King in the DRS zone as Smeggy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Tell you what, this race is all action. It's quality.
Will not be able to calm down until the checkered flag. Drama all over the track. And Ray Lyax is making another move potentially on Kieran as we've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3.
Looks like it's Monkey Boy on those new mediums. We'll stay with Ray Lyax, who looks like No, okay, it wasn't whole sector yellows. I was gonna say, did he pass under yellow there? He did not. Oh, as Monkey Boy again is really not liking those medium tyres. He needs to cool them down somehow. As it is, they're close to being lapped by these guys at the front. Of course, they've not pit yet. Smeggy also, shout out to him. He's doing well. He's currently P3. Not pit on from those softs. He was having a fight with this man currently. Well, he's got himself back up into P4. Interesting to hear how that happened. I'll tell you what. I also want to give a shout out to Yorkie, who's, he's kept going. Too many drivers, I think we would have seen just retire after that. Bad luck.
Lizard King dropping it around turn 9. That's for the yellow flags in sector 3, and very hastily comes into the pits to retire from the session. So a bad night for Haas.
Yeah, it's a double retirement from the Haas boys. And that allows Monkey Boy Kurt to get back up into 15th. There's still that yellow for the retired car. We're on lap 14, and I know it's quite a bit into this race for us to bring it up. But let's have a look at the winners and losers then from the nearly first half of this race. As Smeggy's out, oh for God's sake. Is that in the pits?
What's happened there?
Is it in the pits?
Yes, Smeggy's in the pits. He's retired from the race.
Did he crash in the pits?
What happened there?
I'm so confused.
Disaster for the Williams driver, who was running so well in third place.
Yeah, not quite sure what's happened there. Has he dropped it on pit exit, maybe? It's interesting. It'll be interesting to find out what happened there. There's a Lexus.
Fungus is...
Nope, it's Fungus.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a Fungus in the wall.
Just about keeps out the way of everyone.
He's going to be under pressure from Tornado here, and he's got to be very careful on those tyres. Yep, you can see how tentative he is, and he will be pitting in off those. No point in staying out on those any longer when the mediums can go to the end.
And that's exactly what Awesome Car is doing. He's just pitted for mediums and is going to come out in 9th place, just ahead of Revengezilla.
Well, that's
as Phenom is onto the hard compound tyres. Interesting call there from the Mercedes driver.
I saw something a little bit naughty there from Tornado. Did a little bit of weaving just before the braking zone into the path of Klutschak, but Klutschak wise to it, and Tornado gets himself back past on the undercut. Still looks to have some good life in those tyres, interestingly. Oh god, okay, we've got a little bit of lag.
As Tornado dives into the pits from 6th place.
I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Ali Ferrari just seemed to jump in front of Klutschak out of nowhere. I'm not the only one that saw that, right?
This game is perfect in every way.
Yeah. Ali Ferrari doing Ali Ferrari lines through turn 1. I think we'll let him off this once, but if we keep seeing him do it, I reckon he's going to get a telling off. Oh, well caught there from Klutschak. We'll say on the exit of that corner is that happened last. Was it last season? No, it was season 1 that happened. and he lost the rear end on the curb and bashed me into the wall. And yeah, the exact same thing, exact same place. Oh, as he picks up a time penalty, very, very unlucky there. Is Ray Lyack's getting back past Kieran again. Kieran will have the DRS here. It's all bloody go this race. Can I please just like go through position changes very quickly? I will. So the big winners off the first half of this race now is Collateral Ads up in P4. He's having a good race of it. Ali Ferrari doing very well, up 14 places. He won't have to pit again. So he is looking good. Revengezilla doing very well up in P8. He does have to pit, but he's running P8 at the moment, and anything can change that. Anything can change who's going to pit, but just a singular safety car could throw it all into, well, throw it all up into the air. Okay, so we've quickly gone through the winners and losers off the start. Let's have a quick look as Nocco gets past Collateral Ads. Ali Ferrari picks himself up. Another 3-second time penalty. He's really trying. He's got 6 seconds now. Collateral Ads really going at Nocco, trying to keep pace, trying to get back past, but didn't quite work out there. So
as Kieran enters the pits.
Yeah, well then, this is going to be interesting stuff. I'm not sure whether the overcut or the undercut is more powerful here, but Kieran is coming onto the soft tyres to the end. So if you're Ray Lyack, it's push, 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 burn your ERS, keep going, up the Ferrari, up the Ferrari, lads.
As
I'm not
Collateral
biased.
Ads looking for a move there on Nocco for what is currently a net third place. Not quite working it out, but going down towards turn 4, DRS open, not much ERS. Looking to drag around the outside, not quite this lap.
Yeah, that is something we must see every race. Collateral Ads with bugger all ERS.
As Lyack does not pit. He stays out another lap.
Yeah, we've seen Object Fungus get past Revengezilla, who's yet to pit. So I think there's yet to pit. He has pit. I believe did he start on the softs? I think he could well have. So Kieran currently in P5. He's got Ali Ferrari 8.3 seconds behind. Object Fungus setting the fastest lap of the race on his 4-lap old mediums. Good effort from him. Klutschak replying with a 105.6. Yorkie gets himself a penalty.
As Rookie Min goes up into 9th place, just passing Revengezilla there on the run up to turn 3.
Yeah, I don't know how long you try and wait for this for a potential safety car, as Kieran gets another 3-second penalty. All Ray Lyack is in. He is in, as is
Kieran,
Nocco.
And Kieran has jumped Ray Lyax and has got ahead of Collateral Lads as well.
Yeah, he's that under. It's two. One lap might have been okay, but yeah, 2 laps too much by the looks of it. So Ray Lyax with work to do. Collateral Ad still yet to pit, same as Hirsch in the lead. Revengezilla still fighting, going down positions though. Tornado gets ahead of him. He's on fresh-ish soft tyres. So the drivers we expect to be fast towards the end. I'll tell you what, both Alpines not doing too badly here. Both sitting P5 and P6. I think they can both go to the end as Hirsch does come into the pits, promoting Ali Ferrari to 4th and Awesome Car to 5th.
And Fresh Soft looking to hunt down both Alpines potentially and look for a 4th place finish.
Yeah, he's not too far off the back of Awesome Car then. 1.3 seconds the gap as we see some fighting between the Alfa Romeo lads. There are no team orders here as Brookie Min gets passed by his teammate on the fresher tyres. Revengezilla now 20 lap old mediums. If he's going to pit, he needs to pit. Yep, Ad's in the pits.
Finally, off of those soft compound tyres.
And he has unleashed Ray Lyax then into 2nd place. Let's take a quick look at the penalty situation then, because that changes everything. So Kieran at the front, he's got the undercut, he's made it work, 4.4 seconds clear. However, he's got himself 9 seconds worth of penalties. Ray Lyax, on the other hand, kept it completely clean thus far. Ali Ferrari in P3 at the moment. Currently has 6 seconds.
Hirsch has just dispatched one of the Alpines as Ray Lyax gets 3 seconds of penalties.
I shouldn't have said anything. That is the mildest of commentators' curses. It's not like I'm
commentator's curse.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna say, well, someone's gonna crash next lap.
Stop. We don't need a safety car after what's happened.
Yeah, Alright, well, what if we get a safety car and we just get rid of everyone's penalties? Unfortunately, we can't do that. Some people are just corner cutting frauds. That being everyone but Object Fungus and Lexus. So both the McLaren boys showing how it's done as Lexus comes into the pits.
Fungus running a very clean race, currently 8th place, just behind Collateral Lads, who's made his pit stop. Kieran's out the race.
Whoa, what's Kieran done?
Kieran's dropped it outside of turn 10, and we've got a Okay, why do I have to say safety car?
Oh my god. It wasn't supposed to happen! Why did I say it?
The drama of this race just does not stop. Our race leader, Kieran, is out.
Oh dear. And I'll tell you what, that's a lifeline for Lexus, who was just about to get lapped.
and brought him into the pits, about to get rid of those hard compound tyres, and fungus in the pits as well. This has all played right into the hands of the McLaren driver,
Yeah, we're gonna
who's
see.
kept it clean.
We're gonna see everyone dive in, I believe, onto those fresh soft tyres. I don't know if the guys at the front will, but yeah, I'm not sure what's happened. Not sure what happened to Kieran exactly. Just
And Revengezilla, who I believe made his pit stop just over a lap ago, is now running currently in the points.
yeah, it's not a bad start. I bet he wishes he'd have left it a lap later, but not bad in the long run. Currently P10 then is he. Looking further down, everyone onto fresh tyres. Lexus onto fresh mediums.
Except for Noto, who's stayed out on 4-lap-old softs.
Well, that's bold. It could work out, but Ray Lyax comes out in front of him anyway, just for good measure.
And Phenom is staying out as well on those hard compound tyres. So taking a crazy gamble for both Mercedes drivers.
Yeah, they're really going for it. So there you go, everyone but everyone but him coming on to new softs. Apart from also Nocco, technically 4-lap old, and Zilla 2-lap old. That's absolutely interesting. And yep, as JWP King asks in the chat, let's see those penalties, shall we? So as things stand, the top two both with 3-second time penalties. Ali Ferrari in third with 6 seconds. Hirsch P4 with 3. An Awesome Car has 9. Ads has 6. Phenom has 3. Object is one of only 2 clean drivers. And well, the rest of the field, apart from Yorkie and Lexus, having 3 seconds. Yorkie has 13, although I have to admit that 10-second penalty, very, very harsh. Unfortunately for him, I don't know whether we... Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the stewards have to say, if he submits a clip anyway. It'd be interesting to see what happens towards the end of this race. I suspect the safety car will nullify any such penalty. Right, so we're just waiting on Lexus to catch up. I think the safety car will probably be out for one more lap. I'll tell you what, that's the wrong screen. That's the right screen. So we're at an intermission, and the regular listeners will know what time it is. Cruiser, you very well could know what time it is as well.
I believe I do.
Yeah, well, it's that time of week where we hear from our sponsor. Of course, FPRL, as always, Thursday night streams, sponsored by David's Bevy of the week. This week, I didn't have a lot of time to refill my drink, so I've been slowly sipping my way through a Cobra. A nice cold Cobra. Lexus coming into the pits. Alright then. Yes, nice ice cold Cobra. And it's, yeah, it's doing me well so far. What about you, Cruiser? What's occurring on your side?
I've not had too much to drink, as this race has been pretty entertaining, it must be said. So now we've got a break. I'll be having a nice little Pepsi Max.
Lovely, jubbly. It's nice to hear one member of the comms team that isn't an alcoholic. Just one. Oh dear. Oh, I'm not good saying I still miss Pickle. Of course, we still have that message on screen
Oh,
in homage
wait,
to Pickle.
wait, what's happened to Lyax?
Wait, what? What?
Lyax is trashed on the safety car. He's out.
Oh,
What?
what happened there? I mean, the
Well,
safety
this
car
race
is
has
in
just
this
been
lap.
blue. What?
Yep. What's happened? Yeah, like you said, blew wide open.
This race has been blew wide open as Noko, who didn't pit under safety car, now unexpectedly finds himself leading the pack with only 6 laps to go. And he's not wasting any time, he has pounced.
Yeah, hopefully the game isn't going to slow him down. Nope, it's a nice restart from him, avoiding any carnage. I'll tell you what, there's a big field spread as Phenom in P5 on those hard tyres. I wonder how fast he will lose touch with those guys in front. At the very least, he's got to stay within a second for lap 32. But I'll tell you what, Phenom just showing Ads very wide as he tried to go around the outside. Ads is having none of it. That's some very
hard
aggressive
defending there
defending.
from the Mercedes. Whoa, dear.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I've seen there. Well, I do know what I've seen there. Phenom very aggressive. Some might say overly aggressive as Kuchjak's in a wall.
I think he might have spun going around turn 5, and that is nothing short of a disaster for the Alpha Tauri driver.
Yeah, so Ali Ferrari setting the fastest lap of the race on this restart then. He is right up Noko's chuff. And we'll see what he can do.
Ads is in the pits with front wing damage, and
Object
I think
is in the
Revenge
wall.
Zilla is in as well.
Yeah, Collateral Ads, Klutschjack and Zilla all in the pits for a front wing change. Object Fungus in the wall. Klutschjack retiring in the pits. He's not had a good second half of the race at the moment. Then
And the front
Zilla.
two going wheel to wheel around turn 5, and Ali Ferrari takes the lead.
Yep, good move there from Ali Ferrari. And I tell you what, he's done it before. He did it last year at Brazil. But if he can pick up the pace and get out of Noko's slipstream, and DRS needs to get 3 seconds on him in order to win, but the DRS is now enabled. Now if you're Noko, all you need to do is stay behind. You don't need to pass him.
Just don't do anything stupid, and the time penalties that have been elapsed, he will win this race as Lexus battling away with Lewis Yorkie.
Yeah,
And
Phenom.
just about gets ahead of the Williams and takes 9th place.
Phenom having a coming together with Tornado, I think it is. Phenom really struggling on those hard tyres. Both Alfa Romeos have got past him and he is down into P7. Needs to collect himself, needs to probably take his foot off the gas a little, metaphorically speaking, of course. Just calm it down a little. I'm just going to change the gap to the leader, and because at the moment we've got 2 drivers without the penalties. Unfortunately, Object did spin out early on. It came in for a front wing change, I believe. But as it is, Lexus 7.8 behind the leader. As it is, he would jump into P5? Around P5. Actually, could very well be P4. Anyway.
I believe he'll be looking at P5, yes. Just behind Brookieman right now, as Awesome Car is 9 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah. Also, Ali Ferrari with 6. I think that technically puts him behind as well. Will it? I don't know.
Right now, I think Brookieman potentially on for a podium if he keeps within 6 seconds of Ali Ferrari.
Awesome Car picks up another 3 seconds from 4th. It's going from bad to worse as Ali Ferrari and Nocco fighting. Ali's gone deep at turn 3.
As we got a yellow in sector 1 and Kurt's out of the race, and Lexus has lost his front wing.
Oh dear, what's happened there, lads? Oh, monkey.
And much like the Haas team, no points for Alpha Tauri.
He's lost it before the... He's gone off to the right. Oh, Ali Ferrari's got 9 seconds.
Another 3 seconds. And I think that all but sees his challenge done.
Yeah. He needs to keep it together to catch... to gain that lead over the guys further down the grid, but at the moment he's just fighting with Nocco and it's not helping him at all.
As the Alfa Romeos behind are having a fight into turn 3, and Tornado goes very wide around turn 3. Brookieman gets the cutback, DRS activated, and retakes 5th place. This could potentially be the fight for the final podium place, and there's no team orders here.
Absolutely not. We love to see it. I'm sure that the other Alfa Romeo drivers not quite as much. So, big shout out to Yorkie, by the way. Yorkie,
Yeah,
P7.
keeping it clean in 7th place.
Yeah,
Potentially on for points.
He's only picked up the 3 seconds worth of time penalties.
As Zilla and Collateral Lads going wheel to wheel around turn 5. A brilliant move there from the Ferrari. Bias out the way. Up into 11th place so far.
Yeah, unfortunately these guys not quite fighting for points as it is. But if I know these two, and I do, they love a bit of wheel-to-wheel racing. So we'll just stay with them as we see further ahead. The two Alfa Romeos still going at it. Collateral Ads has the DRS, doesn't quite get past. Oh, they're frauded
Rocco
it.
has a 3 second penalty.
Who was that?
Right at the end.
Oh, Nocco. Oh, so Ali Ferrari round the last corner.
Final corner, and it's Hirsch that takes the win.
Oh, Hush! he's gone and got himself a winner. Nocco he got coming in second. Ali Ferrari, will he stay third? He will. Well,
I'm speechless.
I'm
speechless.
That's a turnout for the books. Lexus.
As Lexus drops it, and Zilla
comes away with a point.
Ferrari.
Lexus run out of fuel. Oh dear. It all happened at the end there.
What a race.
Oh.
What a race.
Wow, fantastic stuff here from Tier 1. You love to see it. Today's winner, almost out of nowhere, is current Tier 1 champion, Hirsch. And, well, Knocko he can't be too pleased with himself. All he had to do was just keep it behind Ali Ferrari. And the win was his, but he gets a penalty. And it's cost him the win today. So that's your standings for this evening then. We've lost a few drivers. It has to be said. AMS Drive going out first. Super Batesy then retiring in the pits. Lizard King the other Haas in P18. P17 is Smeggy. 16 Kieran. Ray Lyax dropping it from the lead under the safety car. Klutschjack is P14. Monkey Boy is P13. Ads P12. Zilla P11. Unfortunately, due to penalties, didn't get that 10th place. But Lexus is in 10th. Yorkie 9th. Phenom. Awesome Car. Object. Brookie. Tornado. Ali. Knocko. And Hirsch in first. Yes, I know I was running out of time, so I sped up. Well, let's get the top 3 into the party. Yep, I definitely should have been something I asked you to do, but let's get it now. So we've got Hirsch is there. Knocko and it's Ali Ferrari, wasn't it?
Ali Ferrari, yes.
Well, we'll get them in the party, and it's an exciting end to the race, to say the very least. I would not have. I have to admit, I wouldn't have spotted the extra penalty at the end. But we've got 2 out of the 3 drivers with us. We'll just give it another minute to wait for Knocko to see if he can join. Well, I've got a message. So the whole world's going to be able to see it. He hasn't got a mic, so we're going to gloss over very quickly his race when we get there. So if you know how this goes, Cruiser, so we'll take one guy each. I think I'm gonna take the winner this week, and if you want to take 3rd place for 3 questions, in between the 2, I'll just quickly go over Knocko's race. So if you want to take it away.
Okay, sure. So, Ali Ferrari, yes?
Yeah, hello.
So, run us through what that race was, especially under the safety car.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Just run us through what was going through your head, especially during the safety car period.
It was lucky for me that the safety car just came out while I was in the 3rd last corner, and then I was just able to get into the pits, and I still managed to stay just about ahead of Hirsch, which was the plan, but it didn't help me because he had less penalties, which is something that I got a bit unlucky with, sadly. But I'm still happy to be in P3, considering I started last.
Can't go wrong with that. Starting 20th and ending up with a podium, I certainly wouldn't complain. Would you want me to ask the second question, or would you go ahead, David?
No, yep. Carry on. Go all 3.
Oh, sorry about that. So starting so obviously going back to what you were saying about starting in last place after a pretty disastrous qualifying, it must be said. Was the strategy just to go long or hope for a safety car mid-race?
I just knew that everyone would have chosen the mediums on the start, so I chose the softs, and it was the right choice because I was able to climb up to 6th, I think it was, by lap 5, all the way from 20th, and then Monkey Boy, I think messed up his braking or something, or maybe it was me. I can't tell, but anyways, I just rammed him, and I lost my wing, had to pit, and then I was gonna choose the mediums, but forgot to change it, and then it changed to hards. And yeah, I thought that my race was messed up, but I just kept on continuing. Although I'm not good with the track limits around here, and yeah, I got many penalties. But luckily for me, my championship rival AMS Drives had a moment, and then he retired, which was only good for me. And then very unlucky for Raelix and Karen to have lost their chance to win this race as well. I was in a party chat with them as well, and yeah, I just feel bad. And then at the end of the race as well, I could have pulled a bigger gap to Nocco, but my wheel just started disconnecting randomly, and it lost me a lot of time, to be honest. So by lap 34, I think, I was 7/10 ahead of him going into the start of Sector 3, and then my wheel just started randomly disconnecting, brought the gap back to 4/10. That hurt me a lot, but I still managed to stay in the podium, luckily.
And lastly, going back to the qualifying again, and like, what was like the main target before starting the race? What were you hopeful for?
To just get through as many people as possible in the first lap. Also, did anyone see my why I got disqualified?
I think the game said it was for driving the wrong way, or something very silly.
So what happened is that I just spun going into turn 4, went off track, and then there was many people coming through, so I had to wait before going back on track. And as I started moving, the game just disqualified me.
This game is
weird.
perfect and has no bugs.
Of course.
As always.
Okay. Thank you, Cruiser. Congratulations to Ali Ferrari. Before we get to the winner, I just want to give a shout out to the guy who came second today. That's Nocco. He looks certain for the win, but a last lap 3-second penalty, fighting with the man in third when he, quite frankly, don't think he really needed to. Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, but still a second place all the same. It was a good drive. Apart from that, we'll go now to our winner in the party once again is the reigning Tier 1 champ, Hirsch. So, congratulations, Hirsch.
Yep, thank you.
So, once again, on the top step of the podium, a little bit of fortune about it, I'm sure you won't mind me saying, but we'll start with qualifying. So, I don't know, I don't know how wary you were of the rain imminent for Q3, but getting round, it certainly proved tricky in qualifying for a few drivers. How did you find Q1 and Q2?
Well, first of all, Q1 was okay for me because, well, it was actually pretty good because I only had to go out once and do one lap and then just sit in the garage for the rest. So there wasn't much for me in Q1, but Q2 was a bit tense because I set a fast lap on the mediums, hoping that it would be enough to get through. It was a 1 minute and 4 seconds on the dot. So I was hoping that could have got me through, but then I saw everyone going out on soft, so I went out as well. Like, I think halfway through my lap, I just aborted because I saw on the stream that everyone else didn't go faster behind me. So, yeah, Q1, Q2 was okay.
Okay, and yeah, so obviously Q3 was a little bit wet. I'll skip over that now. Quickly, just say, yeah, Q3 was it was wet. I mean, that's all I've got to say about that. So, having got through Q2 on your preferred set of tyres, do you feel that set you up for the race quite nicely? Were you adamant you wanted to start on the mediums?
Well, obviously compared to all the other races this year, everyone's been starting on softs. But for some reason, this track's like the margin between the soft and the mediums wasn't too big, so I wasn't really bothered. I wanted to start on mediums, which obviously I did start on, which obviously I think lap 15, the softs were just for other people were going away, and for me, I was just going faster on the mediums rather than obviously going down the grid. So I think you played a good benefit to my race.
Okay, and finally, so you won on penalties today, once again showing the importance of track limits around every racetrack. But of course, this track is more evil than most with those track limits. I think everyone will agree. So when you got your 3-second penalty, obviously you managed to keep your head a little bit, but were you aware that you would potentially gain as you did by just keeping it clean from then on?
Well, first of all, I never knew since I got the penalty that I was actually going to win the race until the safety car came out and Marco was stuck behind Ali Ferrari. So I was just praying in the last 10 laps that he would get a penalty just so I can, obviously win the race because that's what he wanted to do. But I think for me, I would have never got the 3-second time penalty if during the start of the race my controller's disconnected. I ran out of battery, so I had to go off the game for about 30 seconds to get new batteries, and then for some reason it disconnected again around lap 10, which is why I dropped behind the Williams of Smeggy. I was about 4 seconds behind, and then the game was doing its thing, and then I just came back and I got a penalty for some reason. So, yeah, obviously if my controller never disconnected, maybe it would have been a different story, but it was fine after that.
Yeah, well, it obviously came around. The F1 gods were smiling in your favour. Today you pick up the win once again, and congratulations to you. Congratulations to all the podium sitters. That's Ali Ferrari, Nocco, and yourself, Hirsch. So, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll do driver of the day. Let's do driver of the day. This is the point where I put my co-coms completely on the spot and ask, and ask the man, who is your driver of the day?
I think I've got to go with Ali Ferrari for the comeback drive. Starting from 20th and ending up on the podium. A great result.
Yeah,
Great result for Ali Ferrari.
It's a major shout out for Ali for me. If he didn't get 9 seconds of penalties, he'd probably be mine as well. But as he's a corner cutting fraud, I've got to give it to today's race winner, who didn't cut the corners, apart from when his controller disconnected, apparently. Asterisk. But that's all we've got time for tonight in FPRL. Thank you everyone for joining us. Please be sure to tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock UK time, for the Tier 2 race. It's promising to be another exciting one. I'll tell you what, if it's half as exciting as tonight's race, yeah, well, I think you guys are going to be in for a treat. But that is that is it from me, and that is it from my co-coms.
Yep, thank you very much for watching, everyone.
That's nice.
Yeah, and be sure to tune in once again tomorrow. That's obviously a goodbye message from Ali Ferrari before he left. I hope you all saw that. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good night.